Chapter 8, Raj Yoga in brief. The following is a summary of Raja Yoga, freely translated from the Kurma Puran. The fire of yoga burns the cage of sin that is around a man. Knowledge becomes purified and nirvana is directly obtained. From yoga comes knowledge. Knowledge again helps the yogi. He who combines in himself both yoga and knowledge, with him the Lord is pleased. Those that practice Mahayoga either once a day or twice a day or thrice or always know them to be gods. Yoga is divided into two parts. One is called Abhava and the other Mahayoga, where one's self is meditated upon as zero and bereft of quality. That is called Abhav. That in which one sees the self as full of bliss and bereft of all impurities and one with God is called Mahayoga. The yogi by each one realizes his self. The other yogas that we read or hear of do not deserve to be ranked with the excellent Mahayoga in which the yogi finds himself and the whole universe as God. This is the highest form of all yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi are the steps in Raj Yoga of which non-injury, truthfulness, non-covetousness, chastity, not receiving anything from another are called Yama. This purifies the mind, the Chitta. Never producing pain by thought, word and deed in any living being is what is called Ahimsa, non-injury. There is no virtue higher than non-injury. There is no happiness higher than what a man obtains by this attitude of non-offensiveness to all creation. By truth we attain fruits of work. Through truth everything is attained. In truth everything is established. Relating facts as they are, this is truth. Not taking others' goods by stealth or by force is called asatya, non-covetousness. Chastity in thought, word and deed always and in all conditions is what is called brahmacharya. Not receiving any present from anybody, even when one is suffering terribly, is what is called aparigraha. The idea is when a man receives a gift from another, his heart becomes impure. He becomes low. He loses his independence. He becomes bound and attached. The following are helps to success in yoga and are called niyama or regular habits and observances. Tapas, austerity, svadhyaya, study, santosha, contentment, socha, purity, Ishvara pranidhana, worshipping God. Fasting or in other ways controlling the body is called physical tapas. Repeating the Vedas and other mantras by which the sattva material in the body is purified is called swadhyaya. There are three sorts of repetitions of these mantras. One is called the verbal, another semi-verbal and third mental. The verbal or audible is the lowest and the inaudible is the highest of all. The repetition which is loud is the verbal. The next one is where only the lips move but no sound is heard. The inaudible repetition of the mantra accompanied with the thinking of its meaning is called the mental repetition and is the highest. The sages have said that there are two sorts of purification, external and internal. The purification of the body by water, earth, or other materials is the external purification as bathing, etc. Purification of the mind by truth and by all the other virtues is what is called internal purification. Both are necessary. It is not sufficient that a man should be internally pure and externally dirty. When both are not attainable, the internal purity is the better. But no one will be a yogi until he has both. Worship of God is by praise, by thought and by devotion. We have spoken that yama and niyama, the next is asana, posture. The only thing to understand about it is leaving the body free, holding the chest, shoulders, and head straight. Then comes pranayama. Prana means the vital forces in one's own body. Ayama means controlling them. There are three sorts of pranayama: the very simple, the middle, and the very high. Pranayama is divided into three parts: filling, restraining, and emptying. When you begin with 12 seconds, it is the lowest pranayama. When you begin with 24 seconds, it is the middle pranayama. That pranayama is the best, which begins with 36 seconds. In the lowest kind of pranayama, there is perspiration. In the medium kind, quivering of the body, and in the highest pranayama, levitation of the body and influx of great bliss. There is a mantra called the Gayatri. It is a very holy verse of the Vedas. We meditate on the glory of that being who has produced this universe. May he enlighten our minds. Om is joined to it at the beginning and the end. In one pranayama, repeat 3 Gayatris. In all books, they speak of pranayama being divided into Rechaka, rejecting or exhaling, Puraka, inhaling, and Kumbhaka, restraining or stationary. The Indriyas, the organ of the senses, are acting outwards and coming in contact with external objects. Bringing them under the control of the will is what is called pratihara, or gathering towards oneself. Fixing the mind on the lotus of the heart or on the center of the head is what is called dharana. Limited to one spot, making that spot the base, a particular kind of mental waves rises. These are not swallowed up by other kinds of waves, but by degrees become prominent, while all the others recede and finally disappear. Next, the multiplicity of these waves gives place to unity, and one wave only is left in the mind. This is dhyana, meditation. When no basis is necessary, when the whole of the mind has become one wave, one formness, it is called samadhi. Bereft of all help from places and centers, only the meaning of the thought is present. If the mind can be fixed on the center for 12 seconds, it will be a dharana. 12 such dharanas will be dhyana, and 12 such dhyanas will be a samadhi.